So what do we do in 2020, 2019, 2018? We just go straight to Google. I don't need to be guessing around.
True, really.
So, boom, I hit the Google, and then I'm like, you see a bunch of accolades, then you see this other story, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I would have never known.
And make sure you don't forget to click.
All right, we are back with a special quarantine edition of The Journey of Brandon Thomas, and we have Don Raven with us here today. So we're going to be asking Don some questions. So this podcast is about giving people their roses while they're here to smell them. I wanted to find a platform where we could appreciate people in the middle of their journey. A lot of times you don't really get to tell your story or like get the love you deserve until you get to this mountaintop. But I think it's like there's so many things that you've conquered to get to this space. I never tell anybody the questions that I'm going to ask them because I like to see the organicness of the answers. So what are, in this particular moment, the top 3 best moments of your life?
Ooh.
Right? Slightly overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, I'm going to answer these instinctively. So I'm going to let my heart lead. First thing that comes to my heart is definitely my first transplant. One of the biggest moments of my life. So that have to be 1. 2, when I scored 53 points against Virginia. Okay, I had to say it.
All right, so I want to keep the third. Do you know what the third one is in your mind?
The third one.
Just gather it, okay?
Yeah.
All right, boom. So we're gonna go back to number 1. So you had a kidney transplant. Being like a normal girl, a regular girl, a pretty girl, whatever girl you are, and like a kidney like not working. Is that crazy? Like,
for me, yeah, absolutely. When you look at people who are similar to you in age, in whatever demographic you want to look at, it's something that they're not dealing with.
Totally.
So for me, obviously, because I'm experiencing my own life and I can look at somebody who's not experiencing life as I am, and I can look at them and be like, yo, this is unfair. I got diagnosed at 21.
Wow.
As I've grown older and more understanding of life in general, I think I've realized that this is my journey and it's no bigger or greater or less than the next person's journey because they're experiencing something in their own reality that I may not even be aware of. If you didn't really know me 3 years prior to today, you probably wouldn't have known this about me because I kept it so secret.
It's like there's nobody exempt from this, and like these types of things like happen to us all. And It's amazing because when I first met you, I had no idea. Don is a fantastic basketball player. We're gonna get into that in 2 seconds. Like when I saw her, I was like, this ain't like regular, like put the ball in the hole. Like the energy was a little bit different. So what do we do in 2020, 2019, 2018? We just go straight to Google. I don't need to be guessing around.
True, really.
So boom, I hit the Google, and then I'm like, you see a bunch of accolades, then you see this other story, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I would have never known. I think it's a compliment to the way you handle it with such grace, and again, it's not a normal thing, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna move on to number 2. Let's segue. Do you go to Virginia or Virginia come to you for this piece?
So Virginia came to me.
Oh, they pulled up. They thought they was about to do something, huh?
I went to school at James Madison University, and one of the biggest collegiate programs in the state of Virginia is the University of Virginia, which so happens to be 45 minutes away from my school. So very close. Because they come in with this sense of arrogance, like, oh, you're mid-major, we're BCS, we're gonna beat your ass. We went to them, beat them my junior year. And so they had signed on for a 2-year deal with us. But anyways, they came to our, home trying to like, I guess, revenge. They wanted the revenge of beating us since we beat them at home. And I went off. That was a major moment for me. It's like my career high against a great school. It was just electric in that building.
So you scored 53 and 1.
I'm sorry. I scored 53 in high school. I scored 42 against UVA.
Modest 42. Okay.
Yeah, it was 42.
Oh, just 42. Whatever. Dang. Do you remember the final score to the game? You scored 42?
I think the score was like 83-81. Like, it came down to a last possession that they could have tied the game, and they missed a chippy like right at the basket, and we ended up winning by 2.
I've never scored 42 anything. Did you feel like, was it like out of body? Like, do you remember it all, or was it just kind of like you were just in a zone and you're like, let's just let it fly?
I hit like a 3 that put us up, and I don't do stuff like this, but this was an outer body experience where I went to the crowd, hit my chest real masculine like, and I'm like, let's go. And I flexed, and I just looked huge. It was just intense. That was an outer body experience. Like, that whole game, it's crazy. It was as long ago as it was, but such an experience I'll never forget. My whole family was in the building too. My mom, my dad, and my brother came from 9.5 hours out of town and saw that game in person. It was just insane.
That's great. Wow. Got the family there. Okay, what do we got for number 3?
For number 3, it had to be moving to LA.
What brought you to LA?
Always dreamed of being an actress. But we would come out every pilot season, and I would audition since I was 12 years old until I became 16. And then my parents made me decide, like, are we going to move out to California and pursue this, or are you going to play basketball? Everybody in my family has gotten free college education off of basketball. After I got my transplant, I was supposed to head back overseas. I had signed a contract, and then I just took the whole circumstance as an opportunity to pursue that dream again. I could still be playing basketball. Like, one of my friends who's an agent, he was like, Dawn, you left so much money on the table with basketball. And I probably did. And being a struggling artist can sometimes mentally be like, ugh, crap, you know? I'm so happy. I'm so happy in what I'm pursuing. I feel more full. It's a journey, and I understand that to get to any level of success, you have to build yourself up.
100%.
But you have to go through that journey. And so moving to LA was a huge step for me, because I left such a sound space for me, something I was very secure in financially, but also mentally. I knew what I could do in basketball.
Question. So when you come to LA, is it refreshing for people to not know you as Dawn the basketball player?
It's weird, because I've been known that like almost all my life. So it was a different experience for me. I'm so used to going into any room and somebody knowing who I am. In LA, I'm just a small fish in a big pool.
Where it's like their identity is so much tied into their sport that once they stop playing their sport, there is a duration of time where they have to find a new title or find a new way to identify themselves. Did you go through that?
When you introduced me, you called me Dawn Raven, and it's why I did that. Like, my stage name is Dawn Raven, but my legal name is Dawn Evans. And I changed it because it's so connected to basketball. I wanted people to take me seriously as an artist. I didn't want them to say, this is Dawn Evans, a basketball player, converted post-retirement to an artist. No, I've loved this. I've loved this since I can remember, before I even loved basketball. So I wanted to do its due diligence. I didn't want it to be a lingering after effect of basketball. I wanted it to be like, okay, there's this woman emerging. Who is she? Dawn Raven. For me, I was fully prepared to separate the two. There is this weird feeling of, wow, who am I though? Who is Dawn Raven? Like, who do I really represent outside of basketball?
Have you answered that question yet?
I haven't, honestly. Ultimately, I don't want to just be known as Dawn the basketball player. I want people to really understand me as an artist and who I am outside of athletics.
In closing, is there a message? Is there a theme?
Closing. I want to firstly say there is nothing in this world that can stop you from getting to where you want to be besides you. And it may not look like what you want it to look like, but sometimes you just have to go with the punches and keep pushing. Honestly, you won't realize how strong you actually are until you have to be it. But everything that you need is already within you. You know, you just have to find the capabilities to use that strength and use that power, because we are all equipped with it. And don't let anybody else tell you differently.
This has been like awesome.
Thank you for having me. It's so cool. Like, I love any opportunity to be able to, you know, tell my story, and I thank you for giving me the platform to do it here.
Okay, where can they find you on social?
My handle literally everywhere: Instagram, Twitter. My website is the THE Dawn Raven.